Hey class, this next video is part 3 of the chapter 3 answer key video series. The justification question for your formative was justify why both figures both represent 1/3 of the rectangle shaded in. We have rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. So you need to explain why they're both equal to 1/3. One of the things that I noticed right away, and one thing that I would recommend you to do, is to make sure that you identify and use the drawing to help you. I can see here, rectangle number 2, that's 1 out of the 3 parts, 1 out of 3 equal parts in rectangle 2. Same with rectangle 1. So, I would draw, this in, make some notes on my diagram to help support my thinking. So this is 1 out of the 3 equal parts. Okay, so that would make a big part of my justification right there. The other thing to think about too is how many parts there are total. So like in rectangle number 2, if I count them up, there would be 15 total parts and 5 are shaded. Well, we can divide 5/15 by 5/5 and that will equal 1/3. Likewise, rectangle number 1, 4 parts are shaded out of the total 12, which you can divide by 4/4, and that equals 1/3. So kind of 2 big parts there in my justification, using the equivalent fractions, the common factors to divide and find that how those fractions are equivalent to 1/3, and then also using the picture to help you show people why they're equivalent. So let's take a look at my response here, and you can see some of the things that I've done. You can see that I drew in on my response the work that I was showing. Again, 4 shaded, 8 not shaded, so there's 4 total. So 4 out of the 12 are shaded. Likewise, in rectangle number 2, 5/15 are shaded because there's 5 shaded, 10 not shaded, 15 total. So if you split the rectangle into rectangle number 2 into 3 equal groups, 5 in each group, so 5 is 1/3 of 15. So when I'm justifying this, and I had to split this into 2 parts, I kind of ran out of room. Here would be my part 1. So I said, in both figures, 1/3 of the rectangle is shaded in because the part that is shaded in on both rectangles are equivalent fractions to 1/3. In rectangle number 1, 4 out of the 12 total parts are shaded. I can represent that as a fraction 4/12. If I divide both the numerator and denominator by 4/4, keeping the fractions equivalent, the quotient is, or quotient equals would be even better, 1/3. Likewise, if you look at rectangle number 2, 5/15 of the rectangle is shaded. If I divide both the numerator and denominator by 5/5, keeping the fraction equivalent, the quotient equals 1/3. So then my part 2 is up here. I had to rewrite that because I ran out of space. I said, I know I'm correct. Here's that justification piece. I know I'm correct because if you split rectangle number 1 into 3 equal parts, each part would have 4 parts or small rectangles. I circled the one part out of the 3 that was shaded. So that's 1/3 of the total. Likewise, in rectangle number 2, if you split the rectangle into 3 equal parts, each part would have 5 small rectangles. I circled the one part of the 3 that's shaded. Thus, 1/3 of both rectangles are shaded. So there's your proof, there's your justification that both figures represent 1/3 of the rectangle. Thanks for watching. Make sure you study hard, work hard, and you will do great on the celebration. Thanks.